This is how to make the NPC cat that reacts when viewers send gifts. It's actually easier than you think, and it's free to set up. Just quickly, it's not really clear what TikTok thinks of this. This is a new trend, so there is a chance that you might get a warning. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Before we set everything up, we need to give our cat a name, and we need to decide what the cat is going to say for each gift it receives. We then need to generate those voice lines and add them to our software. So obviously there is hundreds of gifts, so you can't do every single gift. So to decide which gift you want to do, then head to TikFinity, which I've linked in the description. And if you want to look through a list of gifts on TikFinity to decide which ones you're going to use, the easiest thing you can do is just click on the sound alerts page, create new sound alert. Underneath the trigger, you can see a list of every gift. While you're here, we are going to use TikFinity later, so head to the setup page, add your username, and further down this page, make sure you're logged in to TikTok. So like I said, we need a name for our cat, and we also need to generate some voice lines, and it's going to reply with these unique voice lines when the viewers send a gift. So for both of these, ChatGPT is fantastic. You can basically turn your brain off and ask ChatGPT. I'll link this thread in the description, by the way, if anyone's interested, but basically I just said, give me a cute name for a black cat. It literally gave me 50 different options here. I just went with the top one, Shadow, and then I just explained to it the basic concept of TikTok live gifts, and I asked it to give me one-line answers when it receives these gifts. And keyword here, I said witty comment, and to be honest, I think it gave me some pretty fun answers. Once you've got all your gifts and all of your voice lines, it's time to generate them. Now, you could use your own voice, you could use TikFinity's inbuilt text-to-speech, but it's not very good. Or you could use one of the hundreds of free AI voice generators on the internet, which is what I did. This is PlayHT, it's free and it's in the description. All I did was make an account. You can see where it says Charlotte here. I click and I chose my preferred voice. Then one by one, I just copied from ChatGPT into PlayHT, and then I simply pressed this play icon, and it took about 20 seconds, but it generates me this file, and I just click this icon here to download it. And as you can see, I ended up with all of these files. A few of these are audio files, we'll talk about them later. But for now, let's add our cat's voice lines into TikFinity. So again, TikFinity is linked in the description. What I would say is make sure you're using the desktop app and not the website, and we're going to head onto the actions and events page. Pretty simple here, you're just going to click create new action. You want to give it a name, I just went with the name of each gift. And you want to check play audio and click on select file and then just upload your audio file. Now TikFinity was giving me a few errors. If you're getting errors, just uncheck play audio, check it again and upload it again. Unfortunately, sometimes I had to upload up to 5 times to get it to upload. Once it's uploaded, just set the duration to the length of the audio file. Most of these other options aren't really relevant. Keep it on screen 1, then you want to decide whether you want it to repeat with gift combos. So I've left mine unchecked, so 5 roses will just read it out once. If you check it, it would read it out 5 times for 5 roses. Or in my example, it's actually 5 pinky promises. Skip on next action. This will cut off the audio if another viewer sends a gift. So decide whether you want these 2 options and press save. And then just go through creating new actions for each gift. Now at this stage, it's worth pointing out that because there's hundreds of gifts, you can actually put a catch-all. So you can make it read out a generic line if the viewers send a gift that you don't have written down. So I asked it for a catch-all between 50 cents and $5, and it came up with this. And a bit further down the page, I asked for a few more as well. You just upload it the usual way. So again, here's my 500 and under catch. I just uploaded the audio file, and again, same settings at the bottom. Once you've got everything uploaded to your actions, we need to create a corresponding event. So just click create new event. Then all you want is sending a specific gift. Choose your gift off the list. So I actually set one up for GG, then realized it wasn't in my region. But let's pretend it was. I would just choose it off the list. And then on this section, I would choose the GG action. You can leave the bottom one blank. Although if you want to make it more sophisticated, you could instead delete this action here and then create a number of actions for the same gift. So for example, you could create 5 different voice lines for a rose. Then you would upload them under trigger one of these actions, and you would pick all 5 actions, and it would randomly pick between the 5 of them. Anyway, when you're done, just save it, scroll down on the actions and events page, and increase the queue size to 1,000, just in case you get a lot of gifts. And you'll see at the bottom of the page is an event simulator. We'll come back to this later because right now we haven't actually added TikFinity to Live Studio yet. Right, it's time for the fun part, which is actually how do we get our cat and add it to Live Studio. Just quickly, a big thank you to the over 120 people who have joined my free newsletter in the past 4 days. If you want advice to monetize and grow your live stream, it's in the description, and once again, it's free. So to get our black cat, we are using VTube Studio. You can download it for free from Steam. I've linked it in the description. And we also need the VTS desktop audio plugin. This is also free and it's also linked in the description. The VTS plugin will be in a zip folder. Just right click it and extract all or extract here. Then what you want to do is load up VTube Studio and also double click VTS desktop audio.exe and load the plugin as well. Now you want to get your VTube Studio looking something like this. So here's how to do it. Firstly, if you can't see the stuff on the screen, just try clicking or double clicking to get it back. And we're going to start by clicking on this person icon in the top left corner. And of course, make sure you've clicked on the black cat model. Next up, you've probably got a background like this, but we need it to be green. So click the picture icon here and it is background_8. Click select. Now it's green. Now we have a few settings to configure. So let's click the settings icon here and we'll stay on this settings cog in the top left corner. And the first thing we want to change is just scroll down this page a little bit and start the API. Then you want to head to your VTS desktop audio and in the top left corner, click the connect button and it should say VTS connected. Make sure this port number in the top right is the same as the port number here. Next up, let's head to our camera settings and you want to head to the top of the page first. Now, I'm not sure whether it's actually necessary, but I set up my camera and then turned it off by clicking the camera off button. So unless you're a VTube Studio expert, you may as well do that as well. Just turn the camera off though, because we don't need it. If we scroll down a little bit, one of the most important settings is this model when tracking lost, go back to default. If I turn it to stay at pose, you can see the cat is not really moving. Looks a lot better when it's on go back to default. And one more important setting on this page, we're going to scroll down and look for the virtual webcam and make sure you've checked activate virtual webcam. We're going to use this virtual webcam later to add it to Live Studio. There's no other relevant settings on this page, so let's move to the model settings. And firstly, if you think you've accidentally messed anything up, just click auto setup and click OK. Now there's only one setting to change on this page, but it is the most important setting that we're going to change inside VTube Studio. So we're going to scroll down here and we're going to look for the one that says mouth open, and here it is. Once again, at this stage, very important that you've got your VTS desktop audio plugin running. And I'm going to click on input here. And I'm going to scroll all the way down and we're going to click on desktop audio volume. You can see it's marked as a plugin. If you can't see this, try restarting VTube Studio. So I'm just going to select the desktop audio volume option, click on select. So now what should happen is when any desktop audio plays, your cat's mouth should be opening and closing. So to test this, I recommend you just play a video in the background. So on my second screen, I'm now going to load a YouTube video. And again, I'm not actually playing it out loud for you guys, but you can see my cat's mouth is now opening and closing because it's reacting to the sound from the video. Now, obviously, your cat will not yet have this collar. So here's how to add it. Firstly, I just pulled this one off Google. I've linked it in the description. And the cat collar needs a bit of tweaking, so I use a free image editing software like Canva or like GIMP, and I just cut the top part. And there's also loads of free tools that will remove the background as well. And then what I also did with a free image editor like Canva or GIMP is I just added Shadow's name in on the tag. So to get the collar inside VTube Studio, inside Steam, right-click, manage, browse local files, and click on VTube Studio data and then streaming assets. Finally, click on items and just make sure your collar is in this folder. At this stage, you'll have to restart VTube Studio. And then on the left, next to the picture icon, I'm going to click on the star and just scroll through the list until you've found your collar and click select. Item order number 1 should be fine. Pin item to live 2D model and press OK. Now I'm just adding it again as an example, but you'll see it's probably too big. You can click to drag it around, you might get this warning. Anyway, if you hover your mouse over it and use the scroll on your mouse, you can then play around with it like I'm doing, drag it around, scroll it around to get it in the right place. Anyway, let's now move to finding a background. And as you probably saw, most people go for a lo-fi bedroom background. And I'm using a still image here, but most people will go for a video. And I think, by the way, that does reduce the chance of your live stream getting restricted if there's more things moving in the video. So just have a search around the internet. I've quickly found a lo-fi bedroom on Vecteezy. This one's paid, but I'm sure you can find some free ones if you search around. If you are going to generate an image, I used Midjourney, which is paid software, but it generates me some really cool looking lo-fi bedrooms. Finally, we need to find ourselves some lo-fi background music. This is Lo-Fi Girl on YouTube. This is just a live stream. It's called Beats to Sleep and Chill to. As it says on their website, you can use it for free, but make sure you credit the channel in the live stream description. We've now got everything we need, and it's time to set up Live Studio or OBS. I'm going to use Live Studio because more people seem to have access to that. So let's start from scratch here. In the bottom left, I'm going to click Add Scene, and we're just going to choose a blank scene. The first thing I'm going to do in Live Studio is next to my microphone, I'm going to mute the mic because we don't need it. Then I'm going to click onto my audio settings, and I'm going to make sure my primary desktop audio is being captured. First up, we need to add the background. Click on Add Source on the left. And once again, I highly recommend you add a video. However, if you did choose an image, obviously choose the image option. Let's pretend I've added a video. I'm going to click on Video, click on Add. Now, you don't want any sound from this video, so I'm going to mute the video here. And also, importantly, I'm going to set it to loop. Anyway, I have just added the image, and usually Live Studio adds the wrong size, so just click on it and click on Stretch to Screen to get it to fill your screen. You can also just drag in the corner to resize it however you want it. Now it's time to add the most important asset, which is our black cat. And once again, inside VTube Studio, make sure you go into the settings, click on camera and find the virtual camera settings. So many settings, but here I've found it. Activate virtual webcam, make sure that is turned on. And inside Live Studio, click Add Source, choose camera and click Add. And I've got lots of things on the list, but I am looking for the VTube Studio Cam, which is this option. And then make sure you turn it to 1920 by 1080 and 30 FPS. So here's that option here, and crucially, click on green screen. The defaults should be fine. Other options are fine. Click on Add Source. Now you might be wondering where the cat is, but I can just click on it to drag it around and bring the cat into frame. What I'm also going to do is just fit it to the screen for now, and then I'm going to crop it. I'm also going to lock the image on the left so I don't click on the wrong thing. So now to crop it, I'm clicking on my camera, I'm holding Alt, and I'm just dragging the squares, and I crop it from the other side as well. And now I'm just going to drag the corner to resize my black cat. You'll also notice we've got these black bars at the top and the bottom, so I have to click on it again and hold Alt and then just drag up a bit to get rid of them. Then just keep tweaking it until you've got your cat where you want it, like this. Next up, people usually add text. That's pretty simple. Add source and then choose the text option, which is here. Can be helpful to rename things at this stage, so you can just double click on anything on the left and give it a name. Anyway, finally, we need to add in our TikFinity. So on the Actions and Events page on TikFinity, overlay screen settings, click on the link for screen 1. Then inside TikFinity, click Add Source, choose the link option, just Ctrl V to paste it in. There's nothing to actually show, so the resolution doesn't matter. This is just to play the sounds. So just click on Add Source, and obviously make sure Turn on Sound is selected. And again, it doesn't matter where it is on the screen. I'm just going to lock it anyway, so I don't accidentally click on things. Now it's time for a crucial step, which is testing that everything works. Firstly, get your lo-fi music playing in the background. Make sure it's unmuted. Next, we're going to head to TikFinity, and at the bottom of the page, we're just going to simulate whatever GIFs we've got set up. So let's just simulate the rose. For now, I've deliberately turned off the lo-fi music. So let's hit simulate, and then let's move to Live Studio, and you should see the cat's mouth is moving. So let's do that now and have a look.
A rose for shadow. A homie Avalis? It's the second most charming thing in the room.
So that has successfully worked for me. If it's not successfully working for you, then usually what you need to do is drag this bar on the side of the VTS desktop audio plugin. This bar on the side is basically a sensitivity bar. So I'll try and show you what it does. Although you can't hear it, I've got my audio playing in the background, the lo-fi audio. Even though I've got it playing low, you can see if I drag this bar up, it starts reacting to it more. If I drag it down, the mouth is not moving as much because it's only now reacting to louder audio. If you want to make sure there's a 0% chance that it reacts to the lo-fi music, if you only want it to 100% react to the gift sounds, then you want app volume and device preferences. Then whatever app is playing your music, for me it's Google Chrome, you want to change the output to something that isn't the default. So I would send it to my Cloud 2 wireless. And because VTS desktop audio is only picking up the default speaker, that guarantees that the cat will never now react to my music. Anyway, you should now be all set up and good to go. So just hit go live and enjoy the stream. I mentioned earlier on this is new tech, so there is a chance that TikTok might give you a warning or restriction. So watch this video here to learn how to avoid that.